The Ton whispers once again, whispers of love, of secrets, and of the return of a name that once ruled every ballroom. The carriages are arriving, the candles are being lit, and the season is about to begin. But behind every smile there is a story untold, and behind every letter, a truth that could shatter the calm of high society. Sound of paper unfolding. Lady Whistledown's quill scratches faintly. For some, this season will bring love. For others, ruin. And for one woman, it will be the beginning of everything. Last season, the Ton witnessed a transformation. From the shy wallflower in the corner to the most talked-about name in all of London. Penelope Featherington. The girl no one noticed became the woman no one could ignore. Cut to scenes of Penelope writing as Lady Whistledown, her eyes sharp, the candlelight flickering. Her secret spilled across every page, every whisper, every scandal that shaped the Ton. And yet when her identity was finally revealed, the city gasped. Not because of what she wrote, but because of who she truly was. Soft piano plays, visual transitions to Colin Bridgerton's shocked face from the finale. Colin Bridgerton, the gentleman who once vowed he'd never marry, found himself caught between pride and passion. Their story, written in secrecy and sealed with heartbreak, ended with a kiss that the Ton will never forget. Cut to the dance floor. Penelope and Colin waltzing, their eyes locked. But every ending is only a beginning, and every love story hides another waiting to unfold. Because in the world of Bridgerton, peace is a myth, and calm never lasts long. Visuals fade into shadows of new gowns being stitched, invitations being written, and carriages moving through the fog. Now, as London prepares for a new season, the streets hum with gossip once again. Who will rise? Who will fall? And who will dare to love when the world is watching? A soft heartbeat sound begins under the music. The Ton has learned one truth. Secrets never stay buried for long. And this time, the whispers do not speak of Penelope alone. There is another name on their lips. One that could change everything. Camera pans up to reveal the silhouette of a new woman standing in the rain, turning slowly toward the light. She entered quietly, but she was never meant to stay in the shadows. Music crescendos, then cuts to silence. Every season brings a new face to the Ton, but this one, she is different. She does not arrive with fanfare or fortune. She carries only her name, and a silence louder than any scandal. She watches, listens, and learns, and soon, every eye in Mayfair will turn toward her. Footsteps echo as a woman's figure walks through fog, her face hidden beneath a delicate lace veil. The camera follows her gloved hand brushing across the gates of a grand estate. Some say she is a cousin to the Featheringtons. Others whisper she once lived in France, where she learned the art of charm and secrets alike. But no one truly knows where she came from, or why she has returned now, when the city is still reeling from Lady Whistledown's fall. Soft strings build as the woman enters a ballroom. Chandeliers glowing, whispers rippling through the crowd. Her presence stirs something the Ton has not felt in years. Curiosity. And in a world where curiosity is the most dangerous desire of all, she becomes both the question and the answer everyone craves. A fan snaps open. The sound cuts through the music. The ladies envy her grace. The gentlemen wonder about her story. And the Queen? The Queen watches with quiet amusement, for she knows that no entrance is ever without purpose. Quick cuts. The woman's eyes behind the fan. A letter sealed with wax. A slow smile that hides intent. But she did not come to London to dance. She came to uncover something. Or someone. A truth left unsaid since the last season ended in chaos. And if she succeeds, every page Lady Whistledown ever wrote will pale beside the secret she carries. Music grows. Violins rise, echoing through empty hallways. They call her many names. The mysterious widow, the foreign debutante, the ghost of the Featherington fortune. Yet she answers to none. She moves like a shadow between the glitter and the gossip, knowing that the brightest lights always burn the quickest. Scene shifts. Colin Bridgerton glimpses her across the ballroom. The air stills. And when Colin Bridgerton's eyes meet hers, the world seems to stop. For the first time since Penelope's confession, his heart stirs again. But this time, it is not love that finds him. It is danger. The woman turns away. The fan closes. The whispers begin again. Because in Bridgerton's world, every new arrival brings with her a storm. And this one is unlike any that came before. Music fades into silence, leaving only the echo of a heartbeat. It began as a glance, one that lingered a moment too long. In a ballroom filled with laughter, polished smiles, and whispered flattery, their eyes found each other across the noise. It was not love at first sight. It was curiosity, the kind that turns quietly into danger. Cut to Colin, standing near the edge of the dance floor, his expression calm but searching. The woman moves through the crowd, her gown a deep shade of midnight blue. Colin Bridgerton, a man who has seen the best and worst of affection, once wounded by betrayal, once blinded by pride. He has learned that trust is fragile, and yet something in her eyes breaks through the walls he swore never to lower again. Slow motion. She turns her head slightly, a subtle smile playing at her lips. The music slows to a single note on the violin. She says little, and yet she says everything. Her silence speaks of loss, of distance, of things no polite conversation dares to touch. And somehow he understands her without a word. Scene fades to an empty terrace under moonlight. They stand apart, the air between them charged and still. There are rules in their world, rules written in ink and blood. A gentleman must not fall for mystery. A lady must not invite attention. But in the hush of night, with the city asleep and the moon their only witness, rules become nothing more than echoes. A soft breeze lifts her veil. Colin's hand hesitates before reaching out. The music swells. For a heartbeat, time forgets itself. He could step forward. She could speak his name. And yet both remain frozen, trapped between desire and duty. Flashbacks intertwine. Penelope's tearful confession, Colin's broken promise, Lady Whistledown's final letter. The past still haunts him. The truth still follows her. And though neither wishes to remember, the world they live in refuses to let them forget. Rain begins to pour. The terrace glimmers with reflections of candlelight. Some loves are gentle, others are storms waiting to break. And this one was written in thunder. Cut to black. Faint sound of a quill scratching on paper. Somewhere in London, an unseen hand writes again. The words spill like secrets. A new scandal has arrived, and she wears midnight blue. Music rises. Strings and drums blend in a dramatic crescendo. The ton will talk. The Bridgertons will watch. But for Colin, and the woman who should have remained a shadow, it is already too late. Fade out. Soft whisper of Lady Whistledown's voice. Dearest readers, the season has only just begun. No secret in London survives the Queen's eye for long. While the ton dances and gossips, she observes. Quietly, patiently, like a hunter waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And now, her attention has found a new prize. A woman draped in mystery and midnight. Visuals. The Queen's fan snaps open, a signal of intrigue. Beside her, Lady Danbury leans in, whispering discreetly. The Queen has heard the whispers, a new face among the Featheringtons, elegant, elusive, dangerous. She speaks little, but her silence fills the air. Wherever she walks, the music changes. Wherever she smiles, someone trembles. Cut to the mysterious woman walking through the marketplace, cloaked, her reflection caught in shop windows, her presence turning heads without a word. The Queen remembers the chaos of the last season, Lady Whistledown's betrayal, the lies that shook her court, the ink that dared to outshine her crown. And now she wonders, could history be repeating itself? Scene transitions. A royal carriage moves through the streets. The sound of hooves against stone echoes like a heartbeat. Orders are sent quietly. A few guards watch the new visitor. A maid reports strange letters delivered at midnight, and the queen, with a smile only she can wear, waits for the truth to reveal itself, as it always does. Cut to a candlelit study. The woman opens a hidden drawer, revealing an old letter sealed with an insignia from the royal crest. But she too is watching, because secrets are not a game she plays. They are a war she has already survived. The queen may suspect her, but she has reasons the crown would never understand. Slow zoom. Her hand brushes the royal seal before tucking the letter away. Her voice, calm and low, breaks the silence. Even queens have things they cannot confess. Music shifts. The rhythm quickens as scenes flash. The queen reading an anonymous note. Colin following the woman through fog. Lady Whistledown's quill writing once again. London has become a chessboard once more. The queen watches from her throne. The woman moves like a shadow. And Colin, he is caught between them both. A man searching for truth in a world built on lies. A single candle flickers out. The queen's voice, sharp and measured, echoes through the silence. Find out who she is, before she finds me. Music swells. Violins scream softly, then fade into darkness. The camera pans out over the city at night, the sound of bells marking midnight. And as the clock strikes 12, the game. Soft violin strings open. Not a melody, but a slow pulse, almost like a heartbeat. The scene begins with Colin walking alone through the rain-soaked streets of London. Love has a way of finding you when you least expect it, and destroying you when you least deserve it. For Colin Bridgerton, the season was meant to be quiet, a return to calm after heartbreak. But fate, it seems, had other plans. Visuals, flashes of Colin glancing through the crowd, searching for her. The mysterious woman's silhouette disappears behind a carriage. Everywhere he goes, she is there, in the reflection of glass, in the whisper of silk, in the faintest trace of perfume that lingers long after she's gone. He tells himself it's nothing, but his heart does not listen. Music deepens. Cellos blend with a rising orchestra. The visuals become faster. Her letters, his hesitation, their hands almost touching. The woman in blue is not what she seems. Her charm hides something darker. A memory, a promise, perhaps even a betrayal. And though Colin's heart warns him, his curiosity pulls him closer, one dangerous step at a time. Cut to a candlelit library. Colin and the woman alone, the silence thick. He asks who she truly is. She smiles but does not answer. Instead, she whispers a single question, one that will haunt him long after she leaves the room. Do you believe every secret deserves to be told? The camera lingers on Colin's face. Confusion, longing, fear, then thunder outside. The candles flicker. He knows what she means. The shadow of Lady Whistledown still looms over him. Her words, her lies, the pain of being a story in someone else's paper. But this woman, she carries her own truth, and it is far more dangerous. Flash of lightning. The Queen's guards watching from a distance. Lady Danbury's sharp gaze. Penelope's name written in torn letters. The city begins to stir. Gossip turns to fear. The Queen's suspicion grows, and soon all of London is watching them. A Bridgerton and a stranger. A pairing that promises either glory or ruin. Scene shifts. A secret meeting in the garden. Voices low, hearts louder. Every moment they steal feels like a war. A war between what they want and what they must hide. And though the world watches with judgment in its eyes, they dance as if no one can touch them. The music rises, then cuts to a heartbeat sound, slow and heavy. But the truth is always closer than love, and sometimes it waits in silence, ready to strike when hearts are open. Sudden cut. A gloved hand drops a letter onto a doorstep. The seal bears the royal crest. The paper unfolds. Inside, a warning written in neat, cruel ink. She is not who she claims to be. Colin's expression shifts. Pain, disbelief, realization. The music stops completely. And just like that, love turns into suspicion. The heart that once burned now fears it has been fooled again. A single violin note pierces the silence. The woman walks away through the fog, her veil fluttering behind her. Because in Bridgerton's world, love is not a promise. It is a performance, and not everyone remembers their lines. The screen fades to black. Lady Whistledown's quill scratches once more. Dearest readers, the Ton may adore romance, but it feasts on betrayal. The truth, once whispered, always finds its way to the surface, no matter how deep it is buried, no matter how soft the lie. And on this night, beneath the chandeliers and the gossiping eyes of the Ton, masks begin to crack. Visual, the grand Bridgerton ball. Laughter echoes, gowns shimmer, but tension hums beneath the music. She enters the room as she always does, graceful, silent, untouchable. But tonight every gaze lingers a second too long. The air feels heavy, the way it does before a storm. The Queen watches from her throne, expression unreadable. Colin stands frozen at the edge of the crowd, holding the letter that exposed her secret. He has read the truth. The woman he trusted is not who she claimed to be. Every word, every smile, every dance. All part of a game he did not know he was playing. Cut to flashbacks. Her hiding the royal sealed letter, her hand trembling as she writes, a tear falling onto parchment. But what the Ton does not know is that she did not come to deceive. She came to protect, to bury a truth that could ruin not one family, but all of them. A violin trembles as Colin approaches her through the crowd. The room falls silent. He stops before her, his voice barely a whisper. Was any of it real? A long pause. Her lips part. Her eyes glimmer with sorrow. All of it, except my name. The orchestra swells, a mix of pain and beauty. The crowd begins to murmur as the Queen stands, her fan closing with a snap. In that single moment, love and betrayal share the same heartbeat. The Ton watches, hungry for scandal, blind to truth. And she, once the mystery of London, now becomes its sacrifice. The Queen's voice echoes through the hall, sharp as glass. Bring her to me. Guards move. The music stops. The woman turns, her face pale but steady. She does not run. She has lived too long in shadows to fear the light. And as she walks toward her fate, every step feels like the end of a chapter and the beginning of a legend. Cut to Penelope, watching from a balcony, her expression torn between pity and guilt. A faint whisper of Lady Whistledown's voice fades in. And so, dear reader, it seems the ink of one woman's story may rewrite the Ton forever. The camera follows the woman's figure as she disappears behind the palace doors, leaving behind only her fan, lying open on the ballroom floor, stained with tears and truth. Every love has its price, every lie its punishment, and every heart, no matter how noble, must someday face its unmasking. Music crescendos. Violins and drums crash together. Fade to black. A single line appears on screen. In the quiet after the storm, London holds its breath. The whispers have faded. The carriages have gone. But the echoes remain. Of love lost. Of truth revealed. Of hearts forever changed. Visuals. The Queen alone in her study, staring at the fan left behind. She opens it. A folded letter hidden within. Her eyes widen slightly as she reads. The Queen discovers what no one else dared to know, that the woman she sought to punish was never a threat, but a protector. Her secret was not born of deceit, but of loyalty. Loyalty to a promise made long ago. Cut to Colin, walking along the bridge at dawn. The sky glows faint pink, soft and forgiving. He holds the same letter, now unfolded, the ink smudged by rain and tears. He finally understands. Every silence, every look, every lie, all to shield him, to shield them. Love, it seems, was never her weapon. It was her sacrifice. The music swells, violins and flutes intertwine. The city awakens as the narration deepens. The Ton will talk for seasons to come. They will weave stories, twist truths, and crown new scandals. But somewhere beyond their reach, a woman lives freely. No longer a secret, no longer a shadow. Visual. The mysterious woman standing on a hill overlooking London. The wind lifting her veil, revealing only her eyes, strong, calm, unafraid. They may never know her real name. They may never understand her story. But history will remember her, not as a villain, not as a whisper, but as the spark that changed the ton forever. Quick montage. Penelope writing again as Lady Whistledown, her voice soft and reflective. Dearest reader, it seems the ton has learned one thing. Even the brightest diamonds cast a shadow. Cut to Colin looking up at the horizon, a faint smile breaking through grief. And as one story ends, another begins. Because love, in all its pain and beauty, never truly disappears. It only changes its name. Music reaches its final rise, a full orchestra blooming like sunlight. Visuals of new gowns, letters, and a carriage leaving London fade together. This season will not be remembered for its scandal, but for its courage, for the woman who defied her fate, and the man who finally understood his heart. Screen fades to black. The title appears in shimmering gold letters. Bridgerton, Season 4. Every secret has its season. One final whisper. The voice of Lady Whistledown fades in like smoke. Until next season, dear reader, do try to behave. Music ends. Silence. Fade out.